Tru Inferno, back with another Black Ops 2 commentary video, and today's topic is all about news. From video game news to sports news if I have time. So let's get straight into it. So the first video game news some of you should have known already is the fact that Call of Duty will now undergo a 3-year cycle. Yes, you heard right. So for those of you probably wondering what the heck 3-year cycle? You know, what cycle what they been doing? You know, for the slow and stupid who don't realize what Call of Duty been doing every year. Basically, two different companies under Activision makes, under Activision supervision and whatever, makes Call of Duty. Infinity War with the Modern Warfares and the newest one, Call of Duty Ghosts, and Treyarch with Black Ops 2 and World at War. Well, now a new company going to join the fray. A not so new company that is, in the form of Sledgehammer. Yes, that's right. Sledgehammer is now a part of the cycle, making it a 3-year cycle. As a matter of fact, this year's Call of Duty game, will be made by Sledgehammer. And then next year's game will be made by Treyarch, so that's probably when Black Ops 3 come out. And the year after that, it'll be Infinity War, and hopefully it's not Ghost 2 or a game that don't resemble Ghost, but something better than Ghost, but that's another story for another day. So Sledgehammer, if you recall, worked with Infinity War and Modern Warfare 3. They the one who, worked on the multiplayer. Now, the multiplayer game for Modern Warfare 3, some of you liked it, some of you didn't. Me, I'm in between. I had no issues with it. So for Sledgehammer to step out of just making multiplayer gaming to just straight up making a game from start to finish is pretty interesting. I'm going to get Call of Duty this year because not made by Infinity War, and I'm going to give Sledgehammer a chance to see how it is, and hopefully it's nothing like Ghost. Otherwise, it would be a major failure. Again, Sledgehammer will do this year's Call of Duty. Next year's Call of Duty will be done by Treyarch, which is more likely when Black Ops 3 come out. And then the year after that, 2016, is by Infinity Ward. Now, sticking with the shooters, another big story going on in the video game world is about Titanfall, the 360 version. Now, remember, the breaking news that broke 2 weeks ago, I guess it's not breaking news anymore, but some of you who don't know, Titanfall on the 360 version will not be made by Realspawn. Now, Realspawn is the cats who made the first Modern Warfare, and some of you declared the first Modern Warfare as the best Call of Duty game ever. Me, that's Black Ops 1. That's another story for another day. However, Respawn then went on and said they're going to come out with Titanfall, and they were going to make it for the Xbox One and the PC, and most of us thought they were going to make it for the 360. That is not the case. Instead, not a new company, but a different company by the name of Blue Point Games will make the 360 version. Now, Blue Point Games, this is where the issues come to play, because Blue Point Games do not make games. They take games that were already made and remaster them. So games like God of War, Shadows of Colossus, Ico, things of that nature. What's some other ones? Metal Gear Solid, that's another one. They take those games and remaster them into HD versions of those games. Here, I'm not sure they're going to make a game from scratch or take the Xbox One version and dumb it down to the 360. I don't know how it works. I'm assuming they're going to make it from scratch. But yeah, that's the story. Respawn is not making a 360 version. Instead, Blue Point Games is. Now, the latest news regarding that is the 360 version is delayed for another 2 weeks. And the word is it's being delayed so the game can be quote-unquote polish. That's right. They need to polish it. So now the question is, what more can they do to polish the 360 version? I mean, let's be real. We all know it's a scam to try to force cats who have the Xbox 360 to go buy the Xbox One and the Xbox One version of this game. That's all it is. The 360 version, I sincerely thought would be as good or anywhere near as good as the Xbox One or even the PC version. So that's all this is. They just want you to get the Xbox One and to get the game for the Xbox One. That's pretty much it. That's all that is to it. Now, one more video game news, and this ain't really major, is they announced Sonic Boom. So, Sonic Boom is going to be an animated series that will be on Cartoon Network this fall. So, just by the name, yes, it's another Sonic the Hedgehog show. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, who apparently all of a sudden got buff as hell, and then you got Amy Rose, and all, who is somehow, some way athletic as heck, same with Tails, and of course Sonic is Sonic as always, except he wearing a scarf. It looks How it looks is straight, but I'm not sure how how the characters look, especially Knuckles, bigger than everybody with the oversized chest and crap. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but and then they're gonna turn the show into a video game that will only be released for the 3DS and the Wii U. So the game might be better than the actual show. Who knows? I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there. And this is, if I heard correctly, either the last Sonic game or the last Sega game to be Nintendo exclusive. Because Sega's contract with Nintendo's expired either this year or next year, whichever one. So, for Sega's sake, because of how poorly the Wii U been doing, Sega better start making some Sonic games for them other systems rather, the PS4, the Xbox One, so forth, whatnot. Because having their Sonic games exclusive to the Wii U is not helping. It's not helping. All right, so that's it for all the video game news. Now let's focus more on the sports news, and these ain't just regular sports news. These are some major sports news. So the first major sport news is, some of you may have heard of this already. College basketball player Marcus Smart pushing a fan rather. Yes, he straight up pushed a fan. So Smart, who played for Oklahoma State, and his team was on the road playing against Texas Tech. Now, as you expect, Marcus Smart is an African American. The fan is a Caucasian cat. So what happened was, the fan, by the way, his name was Jeff Orr. In the final moments of the game, where Oklahoma State actually lost to Texas Tech 65-61, something was said by this fan, who name again is Jeff Orr, and it got under Smart's skin to the point where he actually took like a couple of feet rather towards this fan and pushed him. Now, the word was, the fan said something racist towards Smart. So now comes the issue of what to do here. So, like I said, now at the time, the report was it was a racial slur. When it happened, the first 2 days when it happened, it was a racial slur. So, sometime after that, Marcus Smart got suspended 3 games, and some cats, like Stephen A. Smith, are wondering, no, he should have get 25 games. Well, let me explain, and this is my opinion, this ain't actual fact, but this is my opinion as far as why Marcus Smart got 3 games instead of like a lone suspension, like 25 games or anything like that. The reason for that is because of this. When you think of when you think of anything college sports, as far as who runs them, who owns them, the supervisors, things of that nature, it doesn't matter whether it's the program, the actual college itself, the conferences like the Big 10, the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC, and so forth and whatnot, and even the NCAA itself. Who do you imagine run all those things? Certainly not African Americans. Like, they may have a few saying it here and there, but the majority of these cats are mostly, if not all of them, Caucasians. I'm not saying it's true, but you just have a sense to say, yeah, the majority of these cats who run these programs, that run these colleges, that run these conferences, so forth, are all, or most of them, Caucasians. So for them to go heavily hard on the African American player Marcus Smart, but yet does nothing to the fan who made the racial slur towards Marcus Smart, would make it seem one-sided. Like, oh man, they being unfair because they looking out for their own kind and going heavy against the black kid and blah blah blah. So that's probably why they gave him the 3 games. And at the same time, it's kind of hard to penalize a fan where the fan paid all that money to be at the game. And this cat, Jeff, he was near courtside. He wasn't like in the bleacher seat, so he paid some heavy cash to be there. And he's a regular, he go to the game on a regular basis. So he got paid some heavy cash to get there. So it's hard to penalize a fan, for something like that, even though he shouldn't have said what he said or whatever, as it was, reported. So that's why they went with the, okay, Smart gonna get 3 game suspension. Nothing happens to the fan. I have no problem with it. Now, days after the suspension was announced, we found out, or it was reported, what the fans said. Actually, the fans just called him, "You're a piece of crap." That was it. So it went from racial slur to "you just a piece of crap" or whatever. So yeah, there you go. Now the last bit of sports news that I want to get on, and this is a big one, is that a college football player who going to the NFL draft just came out the closet. Yes, Michael Sam from Missouri, the defensive end of Missouri, said blood to the whole world that he's gay. before entering the NFL draft. And the reason why this is big because this is the NFL. This is a contact sport. You know, whether you're in the game for real, whether you're in practice, there's going to be some hand-to-hand contact. I'm not saying hand to nuts, hand to ass, or anything like that, but it's a physical sport. So his players going to be concerned. You know, his future teammates will be concerned. The executives, you know, the cats who are going to be drafting them going to be concerned. The coach is going to be concerned. So it's all about the mindset. How will you feel to have a gay dude on your squad playing amongst your teammates, playing amongst your players and things of that nature? You know, where the chemistry be there. And not chemistry as in lovey-dovey, gay on gay crap. No, I mean chemistry as in they can work together as a team and get the job done on the field and win games and things of that nature. So, you know, things like this rarely ever happens. So, for him to come out, you know, I don't support, you know, it's a touchy subject. I ain't gonna get into what I support, what I don't support. But he gotta have a lot of guts to come out and say, hey, I'm gay and I'm about to go in the NFL draft. So, yeah. You know, kudos to him for doing that. But this game is over, and unfortunately, we lost. The other team got lucky. But I did a good job, though, man. This is the new Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and see y'all next time. Yeah.